My name is Kyla Cardona, and I was a veteran, and I served in three branches of the military: Air Force, Marine Corps, and Army. And currently, I am a staff security researcher at SpyCloud. In the Air Force, I mostly did like records management, and with a little bit of IT, just because I was always interested in it. And then in the Marine Corps, I had a little bit of that with web development. So I did graphic design for the most part. And then in the Army, I did field artillery. So I worked on FATADS, which is the system to handle all of the artillery missions. So it wasn't specifically IT. So I come from a very diverse background of jobs, but I always had some sort of IT in there just because I was curious. I really wanted to be an ethical hacker. And when I was going through the vet tech portion of the VA website, I think it was one of the only ones listed on there, but you guys were very responsive, one of the only ones that was truly responsive. And then the other schools had some sort of like background screening, like extensive process. And when it comes to like a veteran like me, when we get out, we just want to be able to make sure that we don't go through an extensive process because that's what the military is. And so the response time, the customer service, and just the attentiveness to detail when it comes to us and making sure we're helped out is like second to none. The craziest part is I didn't even know what vet tech was. I was really frustrated when I was trying to figure out how to switch my certifications for my college. And so I called the VA, and this wonderful gentleman was like, "Hey, have you heard of vet tech?" And I was like, "No, what's that?" And he told me that it was an amazing program and to just look into it. And out of curiosity, I was like, "Okay, cool." And then that's when I ran into you guys. And the experience has been a blessing, and it's been more than wonderful. And it has absolutely made all of my dreams come true. Like, I wake up every day being thankful and feeling blessed for my job and knowing that you guys are still a resource, even to this day. So it's just been wonderful because honestly, from day one, the like welcome Zoom call and everything was just eye-opening. And then the classes were more than I can ask for. Everything that I've learned in the classes, the simulations, the study material is things that I use today in my job and that I've used to ace interviews and move forward in them. And even after that, it's you guys are still a resource. And now I'm going through the My CAA process where I am applying for the certification for CASP. And then I'm letting my friends know. I think two of them already have signed up with you guys. So I'm spreading the word because there's no other place to be at when it comes to wanting to break into this industry, and tech is only growing. The first thing we had was Security Plus, which it felt like my whole world was rocked and I was watching Professor Messer all the time. But it was amazing because honestly, all those concepts just don't just apply to me professionally, but they apply to me personally. So even outside of work, I'm able to help out friends to make sure that they have the cyber hygiene that they need, because this world is, everything's moving towards tech. And so with Security Plus, it was the foundation of everything else, of all the other certifications to come, like CEH and CYSA. And while those were very challenging, there was no doubt in my mind that we were going to be able to succeed as a class because our class is very cohesive. I mean, I still talk to those guys today. We're still friends. So I've built meaningful friendships along the way, and we still network and build off of each other. So if any of us needs anything, we're like, "Hey, do you have this?" or "Do you know this?" And we still talk. So it's really awesome to see that happen out of like a cohort. And Discord was amazing. We had study sessions all the time. Like our study sessions, I think it was like once or twice weekly, and it was very helpful in retaining the information. And we always had some sort of attribution to remember things. Like when it came to remembering ports, we always like made some funny joke or some silly joke that would help us remember that stuff. And that stuff still sticks with me till today. So it's just been amazing. Like it's like a family environment. I just want to say that Intellectual Point has been the pinnacle of me breaking into this industry, and I cannot be more thankful. Honestly, people are not going to believe it, but I hands down 100% did it. I'm never going to forget this moment because it was my senior year in college, and my degree was in computer information systems. And I had a CYSA class, and my family and I were at the Great Wolf Lodge. So I wrote my paper at night, and then I went to class in the morning while the kids were at the pool. And it's just all about how much you want to break into it. So a lot of people say they want to do it, but it's really about how much you want it and if you're willing to do whatever it takes, because the payoff is tremendous. I got promoted from a junior to a staff in the security research field within a year. And if you're just really passionate about it, then go for it. I mean, if you're going to put in the hard work in college, you might as well put it in where it really matters, because the technical expertise is what's truly going to matter. Because yeah, it looks good to have a degree on paper, honestly, but when it comes to these resumes, it's not really what they're looking at. And it's beyond the resume. So beyond the resume, it's like, what do you have? And then after the resume, it's like, what do you bring to the table? They're going to ask you these technical questions like regular expressions and to analyze data. And you cannot get that anywhere else other than Intellectual Point. Like, no book is really going to give you that hands-on understanding to where you can explain it to the interviewers. And that technical expertise just even goes beyond that, because honestly, when you're looking at something and you're looking at something in your own network to make sure that your home is secure, with Wireshark, for example, you know what you're looking at. And so the payoff to switching into this career field for anybody, because I come from like 4 different jobs, because I did fitness before this. My job before Intellectual Point was to be a fitness director. So nothing really IT related. So you can come from any walk of life and any job. And so as long as you want this and you really believe that you could do it and you put in the work, you take the advice, then you're going to succeed 1,000%. Like, there's so many people that I know, like my cohort, everybody has succeeded into breaking into a cyber job. And it might not be the job that you want at first, but if you really want to do it, then you're going to find your way to it. And there's a million resources that can help you. I mean, I plan on using Vet Tech again, because you can, after 18 months, you can reapply. You could use it again as long as you have a day on your GI Bill. And you could also use my CAA for a pathway or a certification. So there's like, everything is really in someone's hands if they want to do it or not, because Intellectual Point will give them everything. And that goes to show that they really care. And it's not just, hey, here's your certification, bye. It's more like, hey, we're always going to be here if you ever need anything. And it's a family.